At what RPM does an 80 millimeter turbocharger spool 20 PSI on a Ford G63? At the end of the video, we're gonna find out. So last week we went for a test drive in the Eclipse GSX with the brand new 80 millimeter turbocharger, but for some reason I'm an idiot and I forgot to secure the oil feed line to the turbo, and it rubbed on the exhaust manifold. Oil went everywhere. Because of that reason, I wasn't able to get a real data log, so I have no idea where the boost is at really. But today, boys, we're going to go for our first real test drive in the Eclipse GSX and get a real log of it, and I'm gonna have a hat cam. So hopefully I secured the oil line just enough where it's not gonna rub on the exhaust manifold, but I mean, we're playing with centimeters here, man, come on. Of course, I want this to be a clean looking engine bay as possible, so routing in the back for a tucked look, I'm willing to risk my oil line exploding. You know, that's just what I do. Every time we have to drive the GSX, we have to air up the tire on the Evo, because no matter what, every day it leaks. And no, it does not have a nail in it. The rim is cracked. But these work rims are almost like 400 bucks a piece. Luckily, the Supra is not in here, so we got some room today. So the GSX doesn't have what's called an idle air control valve on the throttle body. So on the first startup, until it gets to about 110 degrees, I have to sit there and rev the throttle constantly or it's going to die. Also, if you guys have been wondering about the fuel system on our 97 GSX, it is doing absolutely flawlessly. Now if you remember, we installed a radium surge tank that has 3 Walbro 450 fuel pumps. I only have 2 of them activated right now because honestly the third one is kind of an overkill to have a fuel cell, but it's full of C16. And then for the bottom, we have our lift pump and all of our fuel filters with our gas 10 and fuel line. Now might I just say, this fuel system is probably one of the coolest fuel systems that I've ever installed. And of course we have a heat barrier shield for NHRA rules. That's better all by itself. Look at it, it's like a newborn baby walking all by itself. Look at you. You have to understand, the tune that's on it right now is the tune that was with the Hulset HX40 6767. Now honestly, that one's running about 42, 44 pounds of boost right now. We don't obviously want to be running 42 pounds of boost on that turbo right off the freaking back, because we would definitely damage something. So right now what I'm just going to do is just pretty much lower the boost level down to pretty much wastegates, which honestly I want to say it's like 20 psi. And as far as the wastegate duty cycle, we're just going to put everything down to 0. Put it down in the comments if I'm doing this totally wrong, but the base duty cycle I believe is supposed to be at 0%. Now I'm not the best when it comes to tuning, when it comes to the turbocharger boost solenoid. I like manual boost controllers. Matter of fact, on the Evo, I took out the Grim Speed and put in a Hallman because, I mean, manuals are just so much easier. Alright, so you guys know that the hat cam isn't really my favorite thing in the world, but hey, that's what we got. And I'm planning on upgrading one day to a GoPro, because honestly it would look a lot nicer. Now we're just going to go to about 6,500 RPMs. 65, and we're just going to get a base log of where we are. Here it goes. Not bad, not bad. I saw about 11.0 on the AFRs. What about you guys? Did you see 11.1? We're gonna find out right now. So we took it all the way up to about 6,800 RPMs. Now the boost pressure we saw was about 22 PSI, which honestly that's pretty spot on of what it was. Fuel pressure was at 76. We're doing good. Now for the air fuel ratio, we're about 10.8. So we're still on the safe side as far as just making sure that we can do this. So far, everything's looking good as far as the air-fuel ratios. We're at about 11.1, 11.2 air-fuel ratios. We're at 22 PSI at about 6,800 RPMs. That's not bad for this 80mm turbocharger. Now, honestly, I think we can go up to about 7,000, 7,500 RPMs and just kind of see where we are with here. So let's do that next. Woo. Yeah, we're on a private road. Remember, oh, there's another one. So remember, we're going to be upwards of about 7,500 RPMs on the data logger. And honestly, with this cow, I don't know if you guys can see this right now, but I can barely see anything. This isn't the safest thing in the world. I need to figure something else out. We're going to start capture. What this is doing is data logging all of our information as far as our throttle, our air-fuel ratios, fuel pressure, everything that's important that we got to know to tune a car is logging. Now, like I said, we're just going to do a 7,500 RPM pull, nothing crazy. Make sure that the wideband is in check, boost is in check, and make sure it's safe. We're logging, we're good. Real fast. Oh. $7,500. Woo. That one felt a little different. You know, that one felt a little bit different. That 500 to 1,000 RPMs, it just kind of hit a lot harder, almost in your chest a little bit. For an 80mm turbocharger, probably at 22 pounds of boost at 7,500 on an aluminum rod 4G63. That was freaking awesome. And it was just a little bit. Oh, I want to get into it so bad. Patience is a virtue. I swear, I thought I saw the RPM gauge go up to about 7,500, but I guess we only went up to about 7,000, which honestly, the boost dropped to 18 PSI. We probably have a massive boost leak somewhere. Alright, do it again. Alright, we're logging again. Remember, 7,500 RPM. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. I heard the wastegates on that bad boy. Alright. I heard the wastegates. We're good. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, you know, I wasn't even paying attention to the boost gauge or the wideband. I was just so focused on the road. Oh, man. All right, let's check that log. Now, this sound is just for you guys. All my subscribers, I want to say thank you so much. You guys are awesome to me. I love reading your guys' comments. And I hope you can hear that dog box transmission. It sounds so freaking cool. Oh, I love it. Dog boxes are so cool. Oh, what was that? Oh my God. The asphalt. Oh, it was freshly poured asphalt. Oh my God. Doesn't put cones right there. That was literally fresh asphalt everywhere. Oh, it smells like asphalt, wet asphalt. Luckily it didn't get on the fender, so we're okay. Honestly, where's the cones at, guys? Come on. So besides that god-awful freaking asphalt, now we took it all the way up to 7,300 RPMs. Now that's not horrible, that's not bad, but you see the problem is you can kind of see this big drop in the graph, and what that is the wastegate's opening, which drops our boost pressure from 21.5 PSI, almost 22 PSI, and it drops it down all the way to 12 PSI, with AFR still being around the 10.8, 11.0 range, which honestly that's still safe. But now we can kind of build up our base duty cycle on the wastegate solenoid, so we can help stabilize that boost pressure. But honestly, I was just wondering to see if it's safe to drive, and honestly, by the looks of it, it looks pretty safe, guys. You know, I can't believe we just hit a river of asphalt right now. What were they thinking? Come on, put some cones down or something. You guys saw me switch off my electric power steering in the middle of that pool. That is because at about 70 miles per hour, with the electric power steering system engaged, the car has, well, let's just say too much power steering. So I have this little switch that I can turn it on and off whenever I feel like. Honestly, whenever I'm doing a fat pull, I just turn it off because, well, I care about my safety and I care about your guys' safety. So if you do the Prius electric power steering, which is awesome, make sure to put that on. Should be data logging, to be honest, because you never know when a Mustang might come. And if we give the Mustang the beans, we gotta be logging, guys. I wonder what people say when they see this. What do you think when people drive by and they see this idiot with a big old massive thing on their head? Honestly, nobody in my town does this type of stuff. I think I'm the only person that does YouTube, and I drive around with this massive camera on my face. I've been getting a lot better at shifting my dog box transmission. You have to shift it really hard. Just so you guys know, a dog box transmission, there's no synchronizers. So when you shift it, you have to slam it really, really hard. If you don't, you're gonna damage it because there's nothing to sync the gears together. It's just straight cut gears. That's why it sounds like this, and it sounds amazing. You know, there's a speed bump right here entering our cul-de-sac. Guess why they put that speed bump there, you guys? Take a guess. Just take one little guess why they put that speed bump right there. This guy got really mad because I wasn't making a complete stop at that stop sign, and he called the city to let him know that I wasn't stopping at the stop sign. So they put a speed bump there. That's technically my speed bump. Why is it every time I drive this car, I hear sirens? Every time I drive this car, I take it on a test drive or I do some really big pulls in this car on some private road, I always hear sirens for some reason. Coincidence? We're golden, no oil leaks. The oil line did not explode this time. Obviously, my securing the oil lines did its job. Ooh. That's toasty. Look at that bad boy. I'm running 2,150 cc injectors, and when it's all said and done, the turbocharger is going to be hoping to put out at least 1,000 horsepower on our all-wheel drive GSX. As you can see, about 21.5 psi, that's when we have the boost controller to turn on. Obviously, it's doing its job because it hit 21.5 psi and it drops boost pressure. What is that? Oh, hello. See, she always comes when I block the garage. I'm in trouble because she's supposed to be pulling in here, but she can't because I blocked the garage. More on that real quick. Here's a startup of an A90 2020 Supra with a Boost Logic exhaust. That is so stupid. Oh, I love it. You know, the hot startup sounds a lot better than a cold startup. For some reason, the titanium with the hot startup makes it so crispy. Oh, I do love this car, you guys, but the GSX is just... Oh, come on. The GSX is better. Come on. You know, if you don't drive your car with a fire extinguisher in the back, is it even fast? I'm kidding. I can't say that because at 14 psi, we're doing about 477 horsepower. If you're curious how much an 80mm turbocharger spools at 20 psi, it's a 79.8mm turbocharger with the ugliest, fattest aluminum welds you've probably ever seen. It spools up at 20.4 psi at 7,000 RPMs. Oh my sweet Jesus, 20 PSI at 7,000 RPMs. If you're talking about turbo lag, Well, there you go, because it's a T4 1.15 AR housing, and that's a big boy. But remember, this is a drag car. This isn't a street car where we drive it along the side of like our other cars. I take this to the track, race it. I hope for a low 9-second pass one day, even in the 8s maybe one day. That's why I built this car, and hopefully you guys follow me for more and check out all the cars, because of course I love doing this. My girlfriend driving away in the Supra. Hopefully she comes back. If not, just bring back the car. Oh, she's gone. Oh, sweet Jesus. I love you guys. I love the car. I love her. I love the GSX. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for checking out today's video. Go ahead and like that button. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be tuning the GSX next video, more in depth, if that makes sense. I'll see you later. Bye. I know, I'm not a welder. This is, oh my God, nobody on earth should see this, but I'm sending all of you guys